morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a pair of fighting Pokemon, that's right, both of them, that are really over-the-top good, that are coming out in GG The End over in Japan. We are talking Medicham, but we're also going to be talking Meditite here, because there is a very good chance that Meditite is actually the better Pokemon of the two. Yeah, I know, I said it, I'm not even a little bit embarrassed. No, I won't take it back. Let's have a gander, shall we? So if we start off having a look at Meditite, it's a 60 HP Pokemon, which means you can grab it with Professor Elm's Lecture, which is lovely. And it has got a weakness to Psychic, which nobody really cares about. It's got 60 HP. If you find a Psychic Pokemon doing 30, that sucks, but there just aren't many of them around at the moment, so we're cool. Retreat cost of 1 is low enough to use Escape Board, and it's single, so you can just attach an energy and retreat. We quite like it. But what's great about these Pokemon, Meditite and Medicham, they're fighting Pokemon. That means that you can use Diancie Prism Star to do an extra 20 damage, which for Meditite is absolutely crucial. It means that you can use Black Belt, which, when you're behind on prizes, reduces your attack cost by 1 fighting energy, which for Medicham is absolutely crucial. It means you can use Fighting Dojo, which, if you've got a basic fighting energy attached, whether you're a fighting Pokemon or not, means you do an extra 10 damage, but if you're behind on prizes, that extra 10 actually becomes an extra 40, which is pretty gosh darn huge. And now, oh yeah, also you're hitting weakness against Pikachu and Zekrom, which is huge, and Zoroark, which is huge. And now we're going, oh yeah, that's actually really, really good. And Meditite's got 1 attack, but it's an absolute doozy. 1 fighting energy, 40 damage. This Pokemon cannot use this attack during your next turn. Well, next turn you can evolve into Medicham or just retreat, so don't worry about that. 40 damage, 1 energy on a basic Pokemon is really good. Bearing in mind stuff like Dugtrio from X and Y did 60 for a single energy. I'm not going to mention Donphan as much as I want to. 40 for 1 energy is really good. Hitmonchan is a Pokemon that's seeing a fair bit of play, especially in Expanded, link in the description. That does 30 for 1 energy and switches to the bench. 40 for 1 energy is great. And here's the thing. At least for a couple of weeks, and the rotation is going to happen fairly shortly after this set becomes legal. This is going to be our August set. But for at least a couple of weeks, we're going to have Diancie Prism Star, which means actually you can do 60 damage for a single energy on a basic. And now we're rolling. Because that Professor Elm's Lecture I mentioned earlier, that doesn't just mean that you can search Meditite, it means your opponent wants to use 60 HP Pokemon. They're going to want to use Pokemon like 60 HP Routes, or something like Alolan Vulpix, etc., or even Inkay. I could keep naming 60 HP Pokemon, but I'm hoping I've made my point here. And then you're just getting easy one-hit KOs on them. Poipole, there we go, there's one more, but that's all you get. You're doing really good damage for a single energy and taking a bunch of KOs. Now at this stage, I'm assuming a whole bunch of you notice that Poipole actually has 70 HP. Yeah, a bit of a ruse on my part, because that gives me a really good opportunity to mention Fighting Dojo. Now, if you're not behind on prizes, this only does an extra 10 damage, but it still does an extra 10 damage. So you're not actually doing 60 here, you can be doing 70 extremely easily. And then, of course, you're sitting there and you're getting a one-hit KO on stuff like Poipole or stuff like Grubbin, which have 70 HP. This could legitimately and really easily get one-hit KOs on evolving Pokemon. Not to mention that you've got Zorua, which is weak, so you'll get a straight one-hit KO, and Eevee, which is weak, so you'll get a straight one-hit KO. Although with Eevee, there is always a chance your opponent just attaches a basic energy to evolve, so that you never actually get the chance to attack into an Eevee. This can get really good KOs on evolving Pokemon very, very quickly indeed. And you can actually get up to really good damage here, because 40 damage is good, Diancie Prism Star puts you up to 60, Choice Band puts you up to 90, and then you can bring in Fighting Dojo. And if you're behind on prizes, you're doing 130 for a single energy to an EX or a GX. That is enough to one-hit KO a Pikachu and Zekrom for a single energy. And all you need is Tool Pokemon Stadium. That's it. Those 3 things and you're good. How am I going to be behind on prizes? Mismagius. You get to KO it and draw till you got 7 cards in hand. And yes, it is absolutely worth KOing a Mismagius and giving up 1 prize to take out a Pikachu and Zekrom and gaining 3 prizes. It is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, using Mismagius, you're more likely to draw into the other stuff. Make no mistake about it, this Meditite is great, and people will play this without Medicham. Speaking of Medicham, you've got the same weakness, same retreat cost, same typing, all of that. We don't need to go through that again. It's got 110 HP, which is exceedingly weak, and means you are in Zoroark range, Boo Hiss, etc. The first attack, 1 fighting energy. Put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. It's fine, but it's not particularly inspiring. If there's a Ditto Prism Star on the bench, you can KO that, which is nice. And similarly, if they've got something like a Magikarp, which would generally be blocking the damage you do to the bench, then you can go and hit that with this, because it's not blocked, and then you win, and then you're good, and then you get the KO, yay, etc. But it's not really the reason we're playing Medicham here. The reason we're playing Medicham is for the attack, which David has translated as Blow Guru. 60 damage, but if you've got a black belt attached, you do 60 more damage. 120 for 2 energy is good. And the damage here is incredibly crucial, because 120 is the exact amount of damage you need to be able to get a 1-hit KO on a Pikachu and Zekrom. Now, just in terms of the wording here, this is really important. Black Belt, and I'll pop a link to these cards like Fighting Dojo and Black Belt that I mentioned here that haven't been released yet. I'll pop links to those videos in the description. But Black Belt, if you're behind on prizes, reduces the attack cost of your Pokemon by 1 fighting energy. Doesn't have to be a fighting Pokemon. Just reduces the attack cost. The thing is here, this doesn't say if you got a black belt attached and you're behind on prizes. This is just if you got a black belt. So even if you're not behind on prizes, you will have to attach a second energy to use the attack, but you'll still get the attack. And pro rata, this is better than Buzzwole's attack. Buzzwole's attack does 160 for 3 energy. This does 120 for 2, which means that you're actually averaging more damage per energy attached, which is really nice. Obviously, the best use of this is when you're behind on prizes. You whack a black belt on, attach a single energy, and then you're hitting 120. If you're hitting for weakness, it's golden. But even if you're not, this adds up quickly. Because let's say you're behind on prizes. Hey, Fighting Dojo's working to full capacity. So that 120 becomes 160. And then Diance's like, yo, don't forget about me. And that 160 becomes 180. Remember, if you're using Black Belt, you won't be using Choice Band. But you're still getting a 1-hit KO on a Blacephalon. You're still getting a 1-hit KO on a Tapu Lele. You're still getting a 1-hit KO on a Rayquaza. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really, really nice damage. And bearing in mind, this is for a single energy on a single prize Pokemon, and you're getting KOs on GXs here. That's how this becomes really, really nice. There's nothing to stop you just attaching 2 energy and a black belt and smashing. Problem is, you're then not able to use Choice Band, and it just becomes a little bit awkward. Really here, what you want is, I'm behind on prizes. That's okay. Black Belt, Fighting Dojo, go. And incidentally, like we mentioned back with Meditite, yeah, of course you can use Mismagius here as well to make sure that you are in fact behind on prizes. I still think Meditite might be the better of the two here. I expect Meditite to be one of those Pokemon, like Larvitar, that sees play in and of itself, because it's a good Pokemon, even though it happens to evolve into something else. I adore Meditite here. If you're playing a fighting deck, this gives you a really, really good, efficient, low-energy attacker, because you're going to be playing Diancie Prism Star, and you're going to be playing Fighting Dojo anyway, and here you can just wreck. And you can legit be getting 1-hit KOs on Tag Team GXs with a 60 HP evolving basic. That alone is wonderful. So, I'm going to be giving Meditite 4 Wassies here. I really genuinely believe that this is a Pokemon which is going to see a lot of play in fighting decks because this is almost unbeatable as a single energy attack in the early game. And yes, I am factoring in the fact that it only gives up one prize when I say that. As for Medicham, let's give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. At the end of the day, it's still hitting 120 for a single energy. That's still pretty gosh darn good. But I would like to know what you think about these Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.